Well, today was the National Juneteenth Prayer Breakfast, which is part of the annual National Day of Reconciliation and Healing from the Legacy of Slavery. It includes this prayer breakfast, and then it was followed by the National Juneteenth Black Holocaust Ma'afa Memorial Service at Lincoln Park United Methodist Church.
Talk about Ma'afa. What is it? How do you spell it?
Well, Ma'afa is spelled M-A-A-F-A, and it's a Swahili term for terrible occurrence or great disaster. It's the way we as African Americans describe our time of loss, our time of mourning, which came out of the Middle Passage, where over 10 million of our ancestors died in the boats, packed like sardines from the west coast of Africa to here in the United States. And it's a time to reflect upon the lynchings and the murders and the spilling of the blood that came out the legacy of slavery, and they seek God for healing.
Why is it that you think a lot of people or more people aren't aware of the Juneteenth legacy?
Well, we have 39 states now that officially recognize Juneteenth as a state holiday or a state holiday observance, including the District of Columbia. And we have an increasing number of cities and communities that are celebrating Juneteenth. So it really depends on what part of the country you're from. If you're from Texas, there's a whole lot of Juneteenth celebrations. California, and the largest Juneteenth celebration we know of is in Minneapolis, Minnesota. So I'm seeing an increasing number of Juneteenth celebrations, and it just depends on where you grew up.
You talked about today the role of the Department of Interior in celebrating Juneteenth. Could you speak to that, please?
Well, it was an honor for me to be the first African-American leader to address the Department of Interior on Juneteenth. The reason why that's important is because of Lincoln's legacy. His solution to the race problem for the Emancipation Proclamation was a policy that was administered through the Department of Interior. That was a colonization of freed black men. In fact, from Lincoln's policy and what was done and administered to the Department of the Interior, hundreds of freed black men were sent to colonize Haiti, Panama, Belize, Guyana, and eventually, of course, Libya. Liberia, excuse me. And so this was a policy, a failed policy by Abraham Lincoln. Before he issued the Emancipation Proclamation, he called all the black leaders to the White House to discuss his excitement about I have a solution to the waste problem. And that is the colonization of free black men outside the United States. It was a failed policy, which was eventually followed by the Emancipation Proclamation.
And what is it that your role is in celebrating or help bringing awareness to Juneteenth? What events are coming up leading to Juneteenth?
Well, I've been blessed to be the chairman of the National Juneteenth Holiday Campaign. Our movement began in 1994 at Christian Unity Baptist Church in New Orleans, Louisiana, where Reverend John Mosley, the director of the Juneteenth celebration in New Orleans, gathered Juneteenth leaders from across the country to gain greater recognition for Juneteenth. I was selected chairman of that movement. I've been chairing it ever since.
And Juneteenth is celebrated when?
Celebrated on the 19th of June. That's the date that Union General Gordon Granger came to Galveston, Texas, the last geographic area in the country where slavery was still practiced, to make the announcement that all the slaves were free. And so it's the day we have chosen to celebrate our freedom in America. And remember, Juneteenth is America's second Independence Day, recognized by the Congress of the United States.
And you're also spearheading the movement to make it a national holiday.
Yes. In fact, we have 39 states, as I mentioned before. We have 7 resolutions in Congress, and now we're making a big push for legislation to make Juneteenth a national holiday observance like Flag Day or Patriot Day.
And what legislators have you been working with?
Congressman Danny Davis has been our great legislator in the House. He's been chairing our efforts for the recognition of Juneteenth in Congress and legislation in the House of Representatives. And Senator Carl Levin sponsored this year's legislation in the U.S. Senate to recognize Juneteenth.
Is there a website that our listeners can go to?
Yes, www.nationaljuneteenth.com. www.nationaljuneteenth.com.